me, do you? Oh, there I am. So, ladies and gents, it was a dark and stormy night. In the town just outside, well, it's not a town really, it's a suburb, just outside of Fremantle. See? We set up microphones everywhere, got ourselves a carton of delicious beer, invited some friends over, we pressed record and jammed until about 5 o'clock in the morning, and by the end of that jam, we had the demo for this song. It's a song called This Is Pressure. This is pressure, still it for me. If life is bigger, then what do you see? You're better than me. This is pressure. Sure, how do you see? No suffocation, no walls fall down like your expectations. You want to stay, you want to show, but you really stay, and you can't let out. This is pressure. Now you won't see me, just ask your brother. What I now believes, you're no bigger. This is pressure, this is pressure, so this is pressure, pressure now. Important do you think the last song in an album is?
Yep. Yeah, of course, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, for me it's always, why don't you understand the point of fingers?
Top notch.
And if you knew her name was Sarah, why do you need to know her name? So I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully it'll make as little sense to you as it does to my bandmates. But imagine that you are in love with someone, you know who they are, but you're just waiting to be introduced, and you meet them at a pub, and you're like, you just can't wait for that moment where someone, you know, maybe she introduces herself to you, so you're like, Sarah, won't you tell me your name? Come on, that makes sense, right?
It's a pretty good in. I'll give you that.
This is a fucking song called Sarah. You're so shy. People, thank you very much for making the effort. We really appreciate it. Newcastle, all right. Well, yes, I did remember playing Newcastle long time ago. Look at you now, educated, out there in the world. So, as a band, we travel all the time as well, and we were travelling up the north of Queensland, playing at Cairns, Brothers Leagues Club, I believe it's called. And we got some phone calls coming through that all these bombs had gone off in London. And I don't know how it is for you guys where you live, but in Perth, everyone just leaves, goes to London for 10 years and then comes back again. So we had, a million friends who were all like working and doing all those things, and we tried to call them, but it was probably 3 o'clock in the morning in London. But the next night, backstage, there was a piano, and we just started to play around with a little riff. Anyway, turned into this song, a song called London Bombs. Good to see you again. Most of you guys probably know that Miley Cyrus was almost an Australian citizen at one point in time.
It was a dark period in our history.
I think it was one of the brightest moments in Australian history. How do you guys feel about Miley Cyrus? Oh, the room is divided. Okay, well, hold on, guys. On the count of 3, for those who are in favour of Miley Cyrus becoming an Australian citizen, can we say yes? On the count of 3, for those who are into the idea of Miley Cyrus not becoming an Australian citizen, say no. Yes.
Can we trade her for someone?
Well, this is my theory. This next song was the song that played over the closing credits of the Miley Cyrus film, Her Song. And it's important because it was the movie where Liam Hemsworth and Miley Cyrus got together. And it was as they kissed at the end of the movie and the credits rolled that this next song played. So,
I still can't believe they didn't get an Oscar.
Well, so I would just like to say that...
It's all politics.
Thank you, Miley Cyrus, for making this song bigger than it was. This is a song called Setting Sun. Staring at the sun. We started to write this album, I guess, during 2005. And one of the first songs we wrote was this next song. And I guess it kind of set the tone for the album. This is a song called Breaking Up.
Welcome to the dark side. Welcome to 2006. We were actually going to build a giant hair straightener to fall down from the ceiling, but the budget wouldn't stretch that far, unfortunately.
So we've got, hold on 1 second. We've got Cooper down the front here. This is, his first concert was the 1st of the 6th, 2007, which is when we would have played the Black Fingernails Red Wine concert here at the NY. Oh, that's for me, thank you very much. So this album was an album that we kind of ambitiously decided that we wanted to make something a bit more widescreen. We wanted to unashamedly reference our favourite bands, Australian bands like Icehouse and In Excess, and try and make something that, was a bit more ambitious. But I don't think any of us would be here this evening if it wasn't for this next song. It completely changed our lives forever. This is a song called Black Fingernails Red Wine. You wanna get them, you gotta go straight. black fingernails, red wine, wanna make you all mine. A lot of people on the ground, gonna get there, got a good street town. All the guys for you in this. I should have stayed back. I know I should have stayed back. I know I should have stayed back. I know it's just too fake. I won't even cry. Hey, store descriptions won't end up in the eyes. Where begin my roommate? She works in the night. Hey, it's just a little help to help you sleep right through the night. I should have stayed back. I know I should have stayed back. I know So that brings us to the end of A Song is the City, ladies and gentlemen. There's if you've ever met us before, we put a lot of emphasis on the closing tracks to our album. We feel like they're a really important kind of, I don't know, what would you call it, Stu?
I was just thinking, like you said, if you would have met us, you would know that the last song on the album is an important thing. Like, that's how we lead a conversation.
That's how we do it.
It's like, the last song on the album is a very important thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the question before I started?
The question is, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
That we think when we think
always, there's one song on the record that we write and we get to the end of it and we all look at each other and go, that's the last song on the record.
Often it's halfway through writing the song, we're like, this has got to be a closing track to the record, and we put all those thoughts into it. And this particular song, I remember when I first kind of played the first bars to the guys, they were like, well, it's a pretty heavy way to start a song. But I guess the only explanation I have is that for the first couple of years of the band, I didn't have my license. I was just the dude in the seat, not driving most of the time, and we'd be driving back from these...
You didn't have to get your license because you were the only one who owned a phone.
That's...
You held the power, bro.
I'm like, anyway, keep driving, guys. Didn't even think about that, but this is true. I was the phone guy, you guys were the driving guys. And now look at us, we're all driving and phoning.
Yes.
It's amazing how far we've come.
Made it!
So this is a song about driving back from gigs, you know, in the country at whatever o'clock, on our way to stay at Billabong's, what was it? Billabong's Backpackers.
Gardens.
That's Billabong Gardens in Newtown, that's where we stay. About 6 of us in a room.
Don't whoop Billabong Gardens, seriously. It's unwhoopable.
So we're going to play one last song off the album, then we're going to have a break, get yourself a drink, buy yourself some amazing merchandise, maybe do a wee. And then we're going to be back to play Blackfin and Ice Red Wine for you guys. I don't want to die in a car crash with you tonight. The roads are wet and you're asleep at the wheel. Open your eyes, open your eyes. Can't you try and wait till I'm right away? Oh, well, it never comes. And if it was a dream, did you hear me scream while you watched me sleep? Oh, oh, oh. The nighttime road feels like we're floating away. Keep me safe, keep me safe. And if we make it home, then I will know I'm still asleep, still asleep. Can't you try and wait till I'm wide awake? Never come. If it was a dream, did you hear me scream while you watched me sleep? Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. What song's next? Smoke? Yes! The prize goes to the lady in the Song is the City t-shirt.
Yeah, hints in the title.
I keep smoking, it's cold enough. Thanks, Paul. Just what I needed, a drumstick. Does anybody else need a drumstick? Okay, can this be like an agreement? If I throw this and it injures someone, then it's Paul's fault? Can we say that's a thing? Ooh, there was a nastiness to that little...
You're not supposed to spin quite so much. It's almost like a helicopter rotor at that speed.
I didn't do it like a spear throw though, that could have been worse. She gets grumpy when she doesn't come. She says, hey boy, you get all the fun. Then she comes over with the flowers in her hand. Oh, she gets clumsy when she's all alone. I said, baby, and some things you just don't know. Then she comes over.
So, at the back of the studio at Baker Street, there was these giant Norfolk pines. You'd get woken up every morning by the crows, trying to count to 3 and getting to about 3 and forgetting where they were counting to. So they'd be like 1, 2, oh. But it was just, what I woke up to every morning. So this is a song about, sitting, having a cup of coffee, thinking about the day on Baker Street. Guitar looks like it's had a car crash. What did you do to it, Joe? We were very, very lucky that we had this fantastic jam room on a place called Baker Street behind the Beaky Tavern in Fremantle. And we were the only band out of all of our friends who had a recording setup, right? So we had like a computer with an interface, and everyone kind of cottoned on pretty quickly, and they were like, let's go to their house so we can record our shit. So we had all of these bands kind of coming in and hanging out, and it was a great time. Everyone was helping each other out, and as these demos were getting recorded, all these bands were getting signed, which was just mind-blowing for bands from Perth, because we're so far away from everyone else. So you had bands who you might remember, like End of Fashion, The Sleepy Jackson, Little Birdie, Gyroscope, to name a few. And it was just a really lovely time, and we would do this walk every Wednesday night down to the Newport Hotel for $2 beers. And we'd get as drunk as we possibly could.
Hey, $4 jugs. I mean, you can't go wrong.
For anyone who's been to Fremantle and knows the Newport Hotel, it's just burnt down again, having another renovation. So it seems to happen like once every 2 years. But we would get as drunk as we could, cruise back up to the house on Baker Street, jam, and then about midnight I'd kick everyone else out. And looking in the room tonight, it's kind of amazing because there's just people from all different ages here, which is amazing for us. But for those, who, you know how these days you stay awake till about 3 o'clock in the morning looking at your phone, scrolling through shit when you should be going to bed. Back in the day, we had Rage. And Rage was like, you'd be about to go to bed and you'd be like, you'd pass the television and you'd be like, I'm just going to watch one song of Rage. And of course, like, that'd be a shit song, so you'd have to wait till the next song came on because that might be a great song. And then, then a good song would come on.
You gotta stick around for the good songs, because then they get into the zone and you're like, okay, I'm gonna stay for this.
Yeah, exactly. It could be another good song. Anyway, this one particular night I kicked everybody out and I was about to go to bed and I started watching Rage. And at some point in time, this video clip came on of Bill Withers on a show called The Old Grey Whistle Test, and he was playing his song Ain't No Sunshine. You know Ain't No Sunshine, right? Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. And so he's there in this like orange skivvy and he's sweating his ass off from, Ain't No Sunshine it's like a standard. We all know the song, but to see him performing it, like probably months after he wrote and recorded it was mind-blowing. And I woke up the next day and I was like, I want to write a song like that. So I got my guitar, played an A minor, I invited the fellas over, and by the end of that day, we created a demo for a song that would become the title track for our album, and it's a song called Songs of Sea. It goes like this. His mind.
them twice ago. One people on top of him and one people smacked him in the head. He was spitting on us. We were the first guy right there. I remember him sitting there and seeing spit coming out. Lenny's hat.
Get up off the floor. Heard it out before. Oh, I'm coming down. Past the far too long. So get up off the ground. Heard it out before. I need a little more. Then she's more. Guess so easily just what it does to me. Blisters off my skin, my body's caving in from the pressure of this.